Yes, the new year is upon us, so why not try to break some bad habits in 2015? Here to help us with some strategies is Dr. Nina Rios-Doria. Okay, we need these strategies for the new year.
Yeah.
Give us your tips.
Well, and I think we all, we get excited about the new year because it is a time to kind of reflect and what did we do last year and what can we do differently this year? I was recently reading a book by Mark Batterson called The Circle Maker. I don't know if you've ever read it. It was a best-selling book. But he talks about the power of prayer over all your goals. Now, for some people, prayer might not be as comfortable for everybody. But he does talk about how do you set goals, and he lists 10 steps. And I wanted to talk about just 5 of them that I think are applicable for anybody. And number 1, he says, take a goal, and don't call it a New Year's resolution. Let's call them life goals. You know, what are your life goals? Have you ever really written down what your life goals are for your future? It may not be all done this year, but it gets you excited about living life and kind of focusing on what you do want to accomplish in the years that you're here, right?
And isn't there something to be said for actually writing it down?
Yes.
And making a plan?
Absolutely. And you know what? That's one of the goals.
Well, there you go. I'm trying to work this out.
Thank you, Dawn. Dr. Dawn. He does say write them down. He says the shortest pencil is longer than your longest memory.
Wow.
Because writing it down really makes it, okay, this is really going to happen. I'm going to do it. So writing it down, absolutely. Something else he says is, you know what? Break your life goals into categories. Number 1, family. What are your family goals? Have you ever sat down to write, what are your family goals with your husband or your significant other? You know, those would be important. You know, things you want to do with your children, all that. He talks about experiential goals, just kind of things you want to do and have fun, like go surfing for the first time, go hot air ballooning.
So is it kind of like a bucket list?
In some ways, it's just, but what I love about his concept is if you have like a list of 100 things, you're bound to check off a few and feel really good about accomplishing something.
I like
I like health and wealth goals as well.
Yes.
You know, I think it's always good to plan for those things.
And you know what? You must have all read this book because he talks about it. Part of the 5 categories, 1 is financial and travel and being physical. Like being physical, what kind of things you want to do? Do you want to do a triathlon or, you know, do something with your children, anything active? He talks about that. And influential goals. How do you want to make a difference? How do you want to do outreach? So he had a list of over 100, and it's just checking them off. And so that's something really great. So have life goals, break them down into like 5 categories, write them down as you suggested. And then he also talks about have others be a part of your goals. Haven't you ever set a goal where you've had others be a part of it and it made it?
You're accountable to other people, right?
Yeah. And last time I was on the show, I don't know if you remember, we talked about goals, and I said I was going to do my first half Ironman. And I accomplished it last June.
Yay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I did it with others. I did it with my husband and like 10 other people. And not only was it made me accountable, but wow, what an experience when we all finished that race. It just made it so much more joyful, and just to experience something with others, setting those life goals with others is important as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
And you should
impressive.
be specific, right? Because I could write on this list, I want to travel, right? I should be a little more specific than that.
Yes, you should, and that is also one of the things. I'm just gonna leave.
It's magic. It's magic. I've got this little thing in my ear.
That is right.
We are soaking it all up. Keep talking.
Yes, be specific, because another thing he talks about in his book, not only writing it down, but be specific. Wow, once you do it, achieve it, like, okay, maybe you want to lose weight. That is obviously a big one. You talked about losing weight is big for everybody. But set a goal and write it down, and once you accomplish it, go out and celebrate with your friends. Celebrate the little accomplishments along the way. But really, he emphasizes, make some grand big ones, things that you never thought you could do, and start working towards it and celebrate the little moments too.
Now, there are times we're going to have setbacks, and you know, one of the things when you list out these goals, resolutions, people always say resolutions are kind of made to be broken.
Yeah.
How do you get back on track if you have a setback?
Yeah, and I think that goes back to having those people, like when I was out training for that race and having to ride 40-something miles in 50-degree weather. That's cold. I had setbacks. I'm like, I'm not going out in the cold.
It isn't happening today.
It's not happening. But having my husband or somebody come along and say, we got to do this, just having those accountability people. And again, it's sharing those experiences with others, because isn't that what life's about? Is, yeah, we can accomplish a goal by ourselves, but yeah, if we have no one to celebrate it with, you know? So that makes a difference as well. So
And Dawn was inquiring about kids. What about helping your kids with stuff like this?
So talking to your children about like how to
Making resolutions and setting these goals.
Explaining what they are.
Right.
Yeah, and breaking them down maybe just into like 2 or 3, like with your 6-year-old little girl. Like say, okay, what is something great you want to accomplish before next Christmas? What's
Make her
fun?
bed every day.
Get it
I'm not even going to do that New Year's resolution.
She might break that one right away. But maybe think of some basic fun things to do. My daughter, she did her first kids try. It's a kids try, but fun, something fun that she's always wanted to do. I don't know what would that be.
I don't know. I'll have to talk to her. I bet she has ideas.
It's just one, but something she can accomplish and be a part of that and celebrate it. Wow, what a thrill that would be for her.
Learn to swim. She wants to learn how to swim, so maybe we'll start there.
Yeah, and
Maybe
this is your
reading
goal.
goals, you know, get through this many books or
Love
something
it.
like that.
And write it down, put it somewhere. And then, of course, there's vision boards that are always effective that people like. But what works for everybody, just do it and
Love it.
Just enjoy it. Yeah.
And that's a whole other segment. Will you come back and talk about vision boards? Maybe
Yes.
teach us all how to make one?
Yeah, we could just spend the whole segment making vision boards.
Yeah. Good idea.
Hot rich husband will be all over my vision board.
Happy New
She's
Year.
putting it in the universe.
Okay, you can get in touch with Dr. Nina by going to dr-nina.com. Lots of great advice there. Coming up next, as you make the changes in the new year, we'll show you which apps can help make these ideas easier, even fun to do. We'll be right back.